Welcome to Dimension Magic Games Weekly Webcam Locals. We're here tonight on January 27th. We've got 12 players, I believe. 6 tables going. Maybe 7, potentially, something like that. And the first round matchup we have for you is Blue Cooler and Green Lucifer. I'm joined here as normal, as always, on the regular with Jamal.
What's up, guys? Welcome back.
So we've got Andrew Klinger playing Lucifer. He's been on this since the set came out. If you've seen the deck profile, you'll know. And then we've got Chino, who streams regularly on the Most Powerful Union. He's also streaming Table 2 right now on his YouTube channel. So we've got Cooler versus Lucifer. So it should be, I was going to say a cool matchup, but it's a little on the nose. Should be a fun matchup.
Fun one for sure.
You get it? Because Cooler?
Because Cooler, yeah.
Cooler, yeah.
One might say one hell of a game.
Might be. That's we don't want to. We got to be on the up and up with Lucifer here.
We haven't seen Cooler a lot. We haven't seen Lucifer a lot, so it'll be interesting, seeing someone represent the deck again. And Cooler's a very aggressive deck, right? With the slight hint of the blue defensive options, but it's very aggro for sure, similar akin to a Rinsu. So we'll see if he can kind of get through the dormant deck, floodgate deck in green.
Yeah, I think Andrew plays it a little bit more aggressively than what we've seen so far with Lucifer. I think a lot of people are trying to go more the burn route with the Z extra that accumulates markers and then can burn your opponent if they're at 3 or higher. So that's one strategy, but he's been playing it not as slow. I think he plays it a little bit quicker. So we saw Cooler, he charge and pass. That was it.
He went Z charge, he comboed to get the Z energy, which I don't really know why. He doesn't really need it that early, but he had a 1-drop, but opted not to play the Searcher. It was not the swap one. It's a counterplay. A counter attack, but it doesn't get to search if it's played on your opponent's turn. So, hey, what's up, Tim? But
yeah, they realized how strong Bulma was, and they fixed that.
Yeah,
Bulma for the Rinsu deck, right?
Almost immediately, right? Oh no. But let's see. So Lucifer's cool because it can Z charge on turn 1 without having to attack. So it can set up the Z field on turn 1, which is nice. Just to kind of get your engine going. And
I will read a few of these cards while we're streaming. I try not to do it for every card, but with Lucifer, I feel like it is still fairly new. So if you're not familiar, that Pansy Z Unison is a 1-cost 1k Z Unison. Has the permanent, if a marker would be removed from this card by an opponent's attack, once per turn you can add 1 card from under the card to your hand instead. And then it has an auto to discard 1 card from your hand, which is the cost when this card is played. Look at the top 7 to the top of your deck, grab a green Earthling and put it under this card, then shuffle your deck, and then it has a +1 to draw 1 and place 1 card from your hand at the bottom of its owner's deck. So just so you're aware there. The Z extra, if you're unfamiliar, Sleeping Princess. When a marker is removed from a player's unison by one of your skills, add a marker to the card. So there's a lot of spirit boosting, which works there to get those markers. Then it has an activate main. If your leader is the Lucifer card, your opponent's life is a 3 or more, and it gets 7 or more markers. You remove the Z extra from the game and place 1 card from your opponent's life into the drop. So
pretty good. Pretty good.
So did we just see double negate by Chino?
Yes. Did he pop marker just to negate? Interesting. So we see, I can't speak on that strategy. Maybe he knows something about Lucifer wanting to get that battle step. or needing it maybe. I'm surprised at the double negate, especially at the cost of marker. We'll see this. So Cooler says, when you play, if you have 2 or more energy, when you play an extra card, you basically, it's Alt Awaken, you go down to 6 life, draw 2 cards, and then flip this card over. So playing the Time to Die, which says whenever a card would be returned to your opponent's hand in this turn, it is placed at the bottom of their deck instead.
Yeah, so that has a lot of added synergy with a lot of blue cards. Like this Cooler would return something to the hand, but if he plays Time to Die, it would go to the bottom of the deck. But even the dual name you see there in the Z energy from Chino is a 1 energy. It returns card to hand, or maybe is it 1 or 2? It returns cards to hand, and with the Time to Die, it goes to the bottom of the deck. So it makes that removal in blue that was kind of iffy before much more powerful.
But the 6-drop here, it just says pay 1, draw 2 cards, pitch 1, and then you can return something to hand on play. And then at the end of the turn, you can put a 5 or 1 cost Cooler Squadron from your drop into your energy, and then you can put 1 of your energy into your Z. So it's a nice way to build Z in a blue deck without having to lose cards from your hand, and also re-get your 5 drops kind of back. The ones that might have died, or that you might have, as we see in this situation, pitch. So he does opt to go into combat here, using leader skill to bounce an extra card or a Cooler Squadron to hand, which then allows him to return 1 of your hand, and then that triggers the leader's effect to when something is returned from your field to your hand, you can play a 5-drop from your energy, and then you replace that energy in rest mode.
Yeah, so the card he played there is the Niece, right? And that's the barrier blocker?
Barrier blocker, and all the 5-drops draw on play. You do have to replace the energy first. And unfortunately, Cooler is also the first time that you do swap something, quote unquote, or return something, it triggers the leader right away. So you are forced to do it or lose it, basically.
Yeah, that's one of the drawbacks of the deck, right? It does kind of sometimes lead to odd sequencing.
Very much so, yes. Every time I play it, sometimes you don't want to do it right away, or you find yourself being, and it's also activate battle to bounce something as well. So like it forces you to get into a combat. Sometimes it forces you to swing with leader first, lead with the leader swing, which isn't what you always want to do in Masters, almost never. So
yeah, even like the It's the Time to Die card, it can return itself to your hand from the drop if you return a field card. And sometimes if you don't start the turn with it, you want to start the turn with it, so all of your removal is useful. But then using that ability to return it to your hand triggers the leader auto. So it can be
right.
It can be a little wonky. This Unison that Andrew just played is also designed for the deck. It's Gastel, a character I've never heard of, but it's just a 5k 1 energy green Unison. And if your leader's green Lucifer and your opponent doesn't have a Unison in play, you can play this card from your drop into your opponent's Unison area with 3 markers on it. So I assumed he played it. He probably has some spirit boost things he wants to do, and then he can play it to his opponent's side of the board. And then a lot of the Lucifer tricks, you get to spirit boost off your opponent's Unison. So pretty neat.
Yeah, definitely good here. We did see that he opted to just get rid of Klinger's Unison off the board. Even though he would get that card back, he decided, you know what, you can have 1 card for me, not letting you keep your own Unison. Kind of force him to have to replay another one, which isn't very energy efficient. So, granted, like you said, right, he could just Klinger can give his opponent a Unison and still spirit boost and use it. One issue is that when it's at 1, you can't spirit boost, so it does have to have 2 or more markers on it. So now he has to find a way to kind of kill his own Unison here, or kill the Unison that he's given to Chino.
Yeah, it'll end up playing from the drop, so that's
Oh well, it actually seems like Klinger played it as his Unison.
Yeah, I think the idea is to, since he doesn't have his own, he might be using before he plays it from the drop, right? Get some
I guess
spirit boost effects off of it first,
you know.
and then play it.
See, another negate here, getting his turn back. That time with the floodgate active.
Yep, that King Harumi's that he's got on board, that is a 1 energy activate main to draw a card and play the card. It has an auto Spirit Boost 1 that when it attacks, you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it, which is how I assume he cleared the 6-drop cooler. And then it has an auto limit 1 when a marker is removed from a player's unison by one of your skills. Choose up to one of your battle cards and it gets 5k for the turn. So,
which is now being nullified to be irrelevant. That extra card field, I should say. It says as long as this card is on the field, when you play it, target one of your opponent's battle cards. As long as it's on the field, they cannot activate skills. So
here we see the 8-drop. This is the bomb for the cooler deck, right?
Very strong card, yeah. It draws a card, costs 2, can only play it if you have 3 energy or more. He is a blocker, double strike, and then activate battle. You can return a squadron and or a extra card to your field to your hand. And if you do, untap this card. So good way to trigger your leader. Also kind of dual attack. Definitely a very powerful card.
It's a neat card because it's, at least in my opinion, because it has a cost of 2 colorless energy to play it, which as long as your leader's a cooler card. So you could splash this in a variety of the different cooler decks, but this is really the only deck that takes advantage of the dual attack. So
right. And then, oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. It also, when it attacks, it returns something to your opponent's hand once per turn, and it is on the first attack that triggers, unfortunately, as well.
Yeah, which is also bad in most things, right? But in this deck, specifically with It's a Time to Die, it is good because it goes to the bottom of the deck instead.
Right. So now we see him triggering the 8-drop cooler, bouncing the field, which then would trigger the leader, allows him to play a 5-drop from his energy, and replace that energy. And he still can technically use leader skill to activate battle to return even something like the knees back to his hand after the fact. But Dore, when he's played bottom deck something, he returns something that's not in battle. And then, so you see him doing a good job here at clearing the board and clearing the unison still. Taking kind of all the options away from Klinger.
He's critical, right, that guy?
Yeah, then he's a 15k crit. He'll go to 20 here. Say, you owe me some cards. Can't use a super.
Yeah, making the read that Klinger's probably on Paradis, right? So either 2 cards or a life.
Curious to see if he... So the knees is barrier blocker. Well, it's a blocker, but it gains barrier for a turn cycle. So it definitely lost the barrier, but it is still a 15k blocker. It'd have been really nice if he had the other extra card in that moment, just because Klinger didn't have any battle cards, and that one, as long as it's on the field, select one of your squadron coolers, and give it barrier. So right now we see Klinger opting to give his opponent the unison instead of playing one for himself.
Yep, so against most colors, giving that 8-drop barrier pretty strong, I would say. Even against green, obviously, but green has enough barrier removal to where not the end of the world. If he wants that 8-drop cooler to die, barrier or not, it'll go. It makes it a little more cost efficient for him for Klinger to remove it, though, with only 1 energy instead of 2 here with that Garumi's. So this is the Tau Pai Pai. And it's a dual attacker It's 1 energy to play it. If your leader is Green Lucifer and you have 3 more energy, you draw a card, play it, and that has an auto Spirit Boost 1 when it's played. It and your leader get 5,000 power for the turn. So it becomes a 1 energy cantrip 25k dual attacker, which is
pretty good. Yeah.
Pretty good, yeah.
Long are the days where your cantrips cost 1 and draw a card and they had 5k power. Not anymore.
Yeah, any card that says pay 1, draw a card, play this card. Pretty good. Those are all cards you want to be playing.
We see him block, and then he opts to pick up the extra card, play the Salza. The Salza, when it's played, it gives plus 5k to something for the turn, to anything, and draws a card. They all 5 drops draw a card, so I won't mention that part much. Cooler is bleeding cards from his hand a lot, though, so. And something he could have done instead of bouncing that extra card. Well, I guess he replayed it on the TN or Master Tao, but doesn't really do much to stop it anymore. I believe Dual Attack still triggers because it's already pending, so it's not activating. And it already gave the bean out. Klinger leaves up 2 energy here, most likely for some sort of floodgate or 2. 2 or 2, probably go to 4 life first before floodgating, just to have access to his super combos the following turn.
I'm sure he's playing a full suite of homicidal clones to get down to 4 if he wants to here.
Right.
So
looks
this
like
doesn't.
He's for another cooler, most likely.
Not
He
looking
isn't
good
yellow,
for
though.
Chino though. Look, I mean, is that 4 cards in hand?
Yeah, it's kind of wild, actually. I don't know where his hand went. Just being really aggressive with comboing and negating. Let's see the 6-drop cooler here instead of the 8-drop.
Right, and now a cat appears on Klinger's screen. That was fun.
Good old cat stream. So he played, but he didn't bounce anything. He also didn't play the time to die. So I guess he could put something back in Klinger's hand regardless here. But it seems like he just kind of opted to forego the bounce effect. Or maybe he forgot and missequenced.
Yeah, one thing I would be worried about here if I was Chino, if he might not be aware, but if you watch the deck profile, Andrew is playing the Cell Max SCR, and Chino has burned quite a few negates already here. So with 4 cards in hand, that's a little concerning that it's possible.
And like Chino kind of misplayed here, missequenced. He tapped an energy to play the 6-drop cooler, but he didn't tap a 5-drop. So now when a leader triggers, he essentially has to pay 1 for it because it'll play even though it was untapped, and you still have to put the energy back rested. Which is
so he should have just tapped a 5-drop there when he played the 6-drop.
Correct.
Yeah. That's an easy one to mess up if it's your first time playing the deck and you're trying to, play quickly and efficiently. I could see that.
See what Floodgate Klinger decides to lead with here. Clearly, Klinger is the pet in this cat-human relationship. Cat seems to do whatever he wants. Can't relate, but...
He took a damage, and I don't know if he's going to Floodgate here. He might not see this turn as all that threatening.
Right. See, he only has about 5 cards in hand. So we're tapping out here. Just for a B-Saw, maybe? Nope, but Broly. Interesting.
Okay. So this, I mean, if there hasn't been a tell on the SCR, either he's playing Zeno super combos and feels he can buy his way out of it, or he's just playing Hatch, right? That would be...
Right.
That's what my mind would go, seeing him tap out.
Together on a Nimbus is just going to nullify this Broly's effect entirely and allow Klinger to save one of his Earthlings.
Oof. That's a great example of Together on Nimbus being very strong there. You stop 2 35k swings, one of them double, and you save the card that was in your bottom deck. And now they both come back? They come back to the end of the turn cycle.
I don't know. That's one card. I believe
it was Klinger's favorite card in our video. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's at the end of the turn. So
at the end of the turn. So his Broly should be back. I don't know why it's not. Both cards do come back. Seems like the Klinger remembered to bring his own card back, but not to remind his opponent.
they have us muted, so by the time we figure... Oh, there we go. Maybe... All right, there we go.
He figured it out, yep.
The cat reminded him. That was good. Thank you, cat.
So we see he passes turn to Klinger, obviously, and now Klinger swings. He just gets the blocker. He keeps bouncing the extra card to his hand just to kind of turn off the skills. Now is actually a good time because he can get rid of the dual attack on Tao if he replays that extra card. He can also just bottom deck Kit with the doorway, or I'm sorry, return it to hand. Which I don't know.
The world. Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, that guy is better to kind of bottom deck, right? Doesn't he know really good effects on his opponent's turn?
And he draws a card on play, so if Klinger didn't have anything better to do, that's fine to replay out.
Right.
That Gurumis would KO a battle card, but he doesn't have a way to Spirit Boost at the moment, so keeping his cards from being cleared.
Alright.
The Unison on Chino's board cannot be used for Spirit Boost since it only has one marker. So here's the Zeno, so maybe it's not Baby Hatch. That's interesting. He gets back to Goku Black, which is live right now. He's got a ton of Z energy. Is that where his hand went? Or are they all getting generated by the switch drops? Some must be getting generated by the switch drops, because that's quite a bit of Z energy.
Yeah, some was his hand, but the other ones were definitely the 6-drop. And it just does a really good job at generating Z, almost to a point where you don't even need it all, which is something Blue wasn't really akin to being able to do. But
so this green King Piccolo that Klinger just played, you play it for 1 green energy. If your leader's green, you have 3 or more energy, activate main. And then once per turn, you choose one of your battle cards and KO it, and you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. So I assume that's how the Broly went. And then additionally, if 1 or more Sun Goku or Earthling cards is KO'd by this skill, your opponent discards 1 card from their hand, and this card gets 5,000 power and dual attack for the turn. So it synergizes really well with the deck for a couple reasons. One being that the deck is full of Earthlings, so easy way to trigger the skill, and the other reason is for the SCR choice.
Right. Which I guess we're seeing that he's not going to play the SCR this turn just because he already burned the Piccolo here. But he also seems like he doesn't really have to. Chino having like 5 cards in hand and only 1 mana, and burned all his negates early. Especially that defending friends that he played on turn 1 using the marker, just definitely probably would have been very helpful even on this turn to even potentially slow it down a bit.
He did miss the opportunity though to burn there with Sleeping Beauty, right? Or Sleeping Princess, because now that his opponent's at 2, that won't be a factor.
Right.
So I wonder how many markers it's at. It's hard to tell there. If
Maybe
you could have
7.
sent away.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so this TN comes in. This is an activate battle TN. Maybe, and I was thinking this might be why Chino was negating so early in the game, maybe trying to prevent this from coming out. But it's an activate battle, limit 1 for a green, play this card from your hand. It's a blocker, which will synergize well with the 4-drop Goku. It has an auto. When a marker is removed from a player's unison by one of your skills, this card gains barrier for the turn, so it can be a barrier blocker. It also has an activate battle, Spirit Boost 1. Use up to 1 green card with 5,000 combo power from your drop in a combo with its skills negated for the turn. So a lot of synergy there with what the deck is trying to do. Spirit Boost 1, when you play it, you get to combo 5k, and then you get barrier blocker for the turn. It's pretty cool.
So we see Chino here opting to get rid of the skill negator, which actually been really good here against that Goku, because you can negate his skills, and then when it's removed, it wouldn't be able to kill anything. But he's opting to just give his 6-drop barrier now. It did draw into a defending friends from his life. But he's also tapped out, and I don't know if that's enough to dissuade Klinger from swinging here, especially for a double striker. Maybe he takes the Raymond special approach here and passes turn, knowing he could just floodgate, but at least start with leader swing and see what happens. I think Chino has 1 card in hand, so what does the defending really do here? This seems like this might just end up being the last turn.
Yeah, he'll pay the tax for a lethal swing, no problem.
I'll take it and go to 2 in hand. And Klinger could swing with anything here, essentially. Little Jaren shuffle.
Charge his,
Yep. Little Jaren shuffle. This freeze is really strong, actually. It's a successor. And it has a bunch of keywords that he explained before.
It's meant for the successor Frieza deck. Successor 9 is kind of an awkward cost, right? A lot of them are even numbers, but it is just 1 energy for 1 green energy successor, and basically in this deck it's just barrier removal. When it's played with successor, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, KO it, and then you can remove 2 markers from a unison.
Yep.
So
he allows him to kind of kill his the unison he gave him, to reset it. So now he has access to spirit boosting again. And Chino goes out on his own turn with the Sparking D magic. So it won't be
that was interesting. He chewed through quite a bit of cards early. I wonder if he, in hindsight, could have conserved himself a little bit, but
I think so. At least a little bit. The deck is good at being aggressive and still keeping about 10 cards in hand or so. It's just about managing that and kind of cycling your 5 drops to get your draws and kind of going about your day that way. But it did seem as though he was just burning through those negates. Even Sparking D magic from 5 to 4, which kind of seemed unnecessary even there.
Yeah, it's interesting. Chino just flipped over a couple cards, and I noticed Heroic Prospect. And I wonder if he had built this kind of thinking, oh, I can go into the Frieza Goku Z unison and then use Prospect as my a primary floodgate. But in this matchup in particular, you definitely don't want to invest into a unison that's just going to have its markers spirit boosted away. So I wonder if that kind of threw off what he was hoping to achieve.
And that's a unison Klinger could have cleared pretty easily, right? He would have spirit boosted down to 1 and then easily, even through Prospect, just swing with leader and then combo, and then now the unison's dead. So he'd find you floodgating him for a turn, but he didn't really stop him. But maybe it's worth it, right? Just to know, hey, he can't keep swinging on that turn as well.